So we finally got the audio working good. Finally, I've been having issues with the audio with the computer audio, and it usually goes to shit. So I usually have to mute it, and then I would have to go off of feedback from the mic, from the computer audio to the mic, or the external audio. So it should be good now. So we're gonna play this Rebecca Lynn Pope video.
A wonderful day. I have been out running around doing grocery shopping this morning.
See, she's doing a nice little setup to where she's cooking, and she's trying to prove to you and sell this pitch point of being this housewife is this easy lush job, and you deserve it because all the women in your life have been working and sweating, and they've been married and dating ain't for nothing, ain't shit black men. And girl, it's your time to get your soft life. And the frustrating thing is that the thing that I laugh about is that everybody thinks that they're deserving of every black woman thinks she's deserving of the soft life, and it's like, in reality, in the real world, people are struggling with everything. Even white folks are pissed off that compared to last year, groceries, there was a guy who did groceries compared to 5 years ago, bought the same items he bought 5 years ago. And I think his groceries increased by like 70% or some shit. I don't know. I think it was like 40%. I think like back then it was like $73. Now it's like $150. It's crazy, and it's crazy that black women are, even though we are so used to poverty because most of us come from poverty. Black women are like the most delusional with it, and this chick really doesn't get it. And that's the thing that I have with the issues with these sellers of the soft life, especially these high middle class Christian couples, and they're just living off of La La Land. Let them tell it. This woman prayed and manifested her dream guy, which you rarely see because he's out there working like a traditional man should. And she gets to, have this, luscious, I'm a business owner, I'm a consultant, I just do some communication shit. And they never really show any issues. Their life is always perfect. And I just kind of wonder, like, I don't mind Rebecca Lynn Pope selling ideas of marriage and love and all that shit through Christ or whatever. I don't mind it. It's just that you gotta take in consideration that you live in like a top 10% of black folks. You're using a poor working class audience of black women to up your level of notoriety, when really these women can never, or most likely won't, meet the men that you're seeing or that your husband is claims that he's seeing in a past video. But let's continue. Let's see what she's going to sell. What's her selling point this time on the requirements for a soft life? And this is crazy. A fucking Biden era. I mean, fuck, we're worse than with the whole race riots during the Trump era. Gas is damn nearly what, $4.50. Groceries up. Rent's getting higher. People don't have nowhere to go. Jobs are drying up. People are protesting. I think in motherfucking Fort Knox, an army base. Their contract chefs and cooks are protesting on a military base. I've never seen no shit like that. That's how bad it is. To where even contracted government jobs aren't even paying good shit. You can't live off of that. And you have black women in a far corner worrying about you need to be on trips every week, and if a man can't provide a trip every week, he's useless, or he's not doing anything for you. And I'm like, you live in a real world where the average American, truth be told, only gets 2 vacations. And then on holidays, he's probably not even really able to move or go anywhere that far because he's probably only given 2 to 3 days off. But this is just craziness. I mean, I would get it if her selling point was like retirees and shit like that. But, you know, when you see shit like, as a 25-year-old woman having to mother myself, and my mother's passing when I was 14, women like you and these messages have been so conducive and insightful for my personal growth. And I'm like, how? You're it's crazy shit like that. This is so real. No more self-sacrifice. Well, you live in America. You live in the modern era to where people are fucking hungry. People are struggling. And that's just the nature of the beast. That's just how shit is going on nowadays. I don't know. I don't understand why the so-called the most educated, the women who are getting 5 to 6 degrees, 2 to 3 businesses, are not able to come up with a strategic plan to increase black wealth, to create black jobs in the community, and do all this bullshit. You have all these so-called middle-class women or relationship experts talking about how they need to have a new trip to Jamaica, and they're expecting men to pay that while you don't come to the trip. I mean, like, do something constructive. Well, why don't you try to with your husband, encourage him to fucking, go to a, inner city school and create a program to get guys working, black men working, have them learn a skill or a trade, so they can have something to do during the summer rather than just shooting each other. Or just bumming and loitering on a fucking gas station. It's these superstar lifestyles, man.
And getting into the kitchen this afternoon to make some dinner for this evening, and just thought that I would come live and share some thoughts with you guys. I am getting ready to make some meatballs and pasta for dinner tonight, and a big salad. Hope everybody's having a wonderful day. As you guys are coming on, hello, good afternoon, Tashina. Hi, sweetheart. I am just coming in with the kitchen to share a few thoughts that I have this morning about a softer life. Hey, Coach Tina. Hi, sweetheart. Meg, Sunshine and Beauty, Dorothy, Ash. Hey, guys. So glad to be on your live. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, guys, for coming on. I am in the kitchen this afternoon. I've been grocery shopping all morning. I'm in the kitchen this afternoon making some spaghetti and meatballs. I think one of my sons wants to make a meatball sub with the meatballs. But I'm in the kitchen getting ready to put these meatballs together. Yeah, hello. Just times. Modern women.
Okay.
We are pressured into feeling like we've got to do everything by ourselves and we've got to have it all. We've got to be the perfect package. We've got to have it all figured out. We have to be so independent and strong, and that is the recipe
And what black
for
men?
a hard
And
life.
black what else? Black men don't feel the same pressures. Black men don't get the and the thing is with black women like her is that she will always use, if she was ever given a chance, she would use this imaginary story of a good for nothing black man who lives with his mama. He's 35, 3 kids, don't take care of any of his goddamn kids. He's unmotivated. He doesn't have a car, and he just lives life on easy mode. And let these women tell it. That's every black man. This is the same woman who claims that black men, the majority of black men, are in prison and not in school. Come on, really? And I showed you in another video the stats that black crime, especially amongst black men, have went down. I even went to ChatGPT and he even broke it down to where he was like, "Whoa, yeah, it's a complete myth. I'll do this shit right now. I'll do this shit right now." Let me pause this. All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna talk to ChatGPT. Explain the myth of more black men are in prison than in college. The only thing that black men are having issues when I'm not saying that it's the only thing, but I did find stats that says that black men are the rate of black men getting arrested, just arrested, is 3 times the amount of white men. And I think like it's like triple, per capita. So I think for like every 1,000 white men who get arrested, black men are arrested at 3,000 the rate. So you have all that. It's just the age difference. Comparing the number of black men in prison to those in college is problematic because these two populations may not be directly compatible. That means what it's saying is that the average college range from the average college student is between 18 and probably 24 versus prison to where that's an entire lifespan. So it's kind of stupid to even compare a period of your life, your young adult years, to a whole lifetime. It's a stupid comparison. The myth oftentimes ignores the fact that educational attainment is a process that begins with enrollment in primary and secondary education and culminates in college enrollment. Focusing solely on college enrollment neglects the educational progress made leading up to the point. Let me see where it can go. Statistical manipulation. The myth can be perpetuated by selective choosing specific stats or time periods that highlights the contrast between incarceration and college enrollment rates. Different years, regions, demographics, groups may yield different results. Yeah, so they're probably comparing crime in Chicago and then comparing that to, why aren't there enough why is there hardly any black male students in Harvard? It's that manipulative bullshit.
Where you're not being supported and you don't have help. So, what did it take for me to get to a point I'm over here. This dishwasher's on and I'm so hot. I should have brought a fan down here, turn my air down before I came on. What has it taken for me to get to my softer life? Now this is what's crucial, guys. This is the part nobody wants to talk about.
Let's talk about black women.
Because this comes down to, what does it take to really let go of ego and begin to accept help and even admit you need help? Because ego has us positioned to where we're constantly trying to act.
This is that vulnerability ruse to where black women will try to sucker you in by asking you for, and this is happening to a lot of non-select guys who are making decent money, to where black women will pretend that they need you, and then when you help them, they're the most ungrateful bitches. They don't give you what you want. They don't promise a relationship, and they're still running off to the next dude who didn't do the XYZ that she was requiring you to do. I have had black women who were, we're just acquaintances and friends, and they're trying to tax me for that shit and be like, well, if you was a real friend, you would pay my. I had a chick who wanted me to pay her DUI fees or court fees and shit, and then pay for her house. That shit was like, I think all of that was like about 10K. She has a boyfriend now, and I bet you I am yet to see her bring up anything about her court and her house being paid off. I noticed she stopped complaining about it too, but I highly doubt the dude paid the shit off. I bet you she's working twice as hard now to pay that shit off by herself, and she probably ain't even trying to ask her man to pay that shit off. This is the manipulative. This is the manipulative nature of black women and their fake softness, because they will only pull this shit off on guys that they're not truly attracted to, and then once they're in a good position, they will make themselves more available and feel more comfortable getting the guys that they actually want.
We don't need anybody.
And the thing is, this it's gonna be a hard sell to push, because black women have made themselves rarely available to say that they didn't need black men. They don't want us. Even Lynn Pope just has nothing good to say about black men. Now all of a sudden we're needed to help you reach a softer life, whether or not we're the man for you. Get the fuck out of here, man. Get the fuck out of here. But when we accept your vulnerability, we still get nothing. So I'm not even trying to hear this sales pitch.
Us, and we'll do that to ourselves if we're really honest, right? Especially if you have a personality type that feels like you're pressured to constantly be strong.
It's called adulting. It's called paying your own fucking bill. It's called paying your own fucking tab. You bitches, black women act like they can't even lift a motherfucking thing. They can't even pull out their goddamn credit card to pay their own motherfucking bill, to pay their own motherfucking rent. They act like they're too good to do that shit. But you have no problem pulling out your credit card to pay for a Louis bag, to go on trips. Actually, you don't even want to pay for the whole trip. I remember, I think I had a chick, an ex, that wanted me to pay for her goddamn trip, and I wasn't even seeing her ass anymore. I know a chick and this same chick was the same chick that lied, saying that her granddad that she hardly met in DC is dead, and she has to see him, and also she had a leaky roof, and she needed like 2 G's or some shit. And I was like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. And guess what her immediate text was? Okay, I'm gonna ask another nigga then. Okay, you just exposed yourself. Cause it just proved my point. Black woman's vulnerability is cheesy, it's fake, it's ungrateful as fuck. I'm honestly wondering even why Rebecca Lynn Pope even thinks that the modern black woman even deserves fucking help at this point. She should actually be teaching courses on appreciation. I think once black women accept appreciation for the little things that black men do, we might get somewhere. But this whole last minute shit of if you do the X Y Z for me, I might. And that's the thing. That's the thing that a lot of these coaches don't acknowledge. They don't acknowledge that black women have a terrible sales record. They don't acknowledge that black women don't follow up to what they're being asked to do, or the exchange. They don't do the exchange. Okay, hey, I'm gonna help you out, but you need to be working on how to be my wife. We need to be dating. No, I don't really like you like that. Whoa, wait, what the fuck are you talking about? You said that if I did the X Y Z, we can talk. Yeah, we can talk, but we're not gonna date. What kind of bullshit is? See, that's that kind of game that these bitches will play. So unless I'm yet to see you female dating coaches address that shit, and honestly, that is why black women are in the dirt to where they're at now, and playing with dust.
Everything figured out, and to be Superwoman. And I finally really had to take off my cape.
I don't even understand why black women, especially like her, why don't you attack the real root? Attack the policies. Fight for economic growth and education in inner city schools. Ask your mayors, your councilmen to put more of a heavier focus on black boys instead of just doing the whole man, girl, look. That is not fair for us to be Superwoman and raising our brothers and raising a family that hates us and doesn't appreciate us. And nah. Ask for policies.
Take off my Superwoman cape.
Oh my God.
What is the point of being in a relationship or being married or having friends and family if you don't allow people to help you? If you've got people around you who love you, but you won't allow them to be there for you.
Well, it sounds like black women need therapy. Black women need therapy. But the thing is, the black woman is so ungrateful to where I don't even, to be honest with you, it's not like you're going to ask other women to help you out. You're asking men to help you out. You're probably going to ask men. I know where this is going, even though she's saying boyfriend and husband. You're asking help from guys who are potentials. You're potential mates or whatever. And the thing is, the guys, 9 times out of 10, the guys that are really going somewhere, y'all bitches have already burned the fucking bridge to where these dudes would rather see you homeless and see you on, what's that dude's little channel? Atlanta Street Interviews? That's where y'all should be heading to. Because as ungrateful as you guys are, I don't even understand why you need our help. I don't even know why Rebecca Lynn Pope is even making this topic. Because honestly, she should be making an apology video to black men for this video even uploaded.
And sometimes this is tricky because a lot of the time we will feel isolated and we don't feel supported, but we do not realize that we're showing up as the strong friend, the strong daughter, the strong woman of God, the strong wife, the strong sister, the strong girlfriend. We're showing up as as strong.
Black men have been complaining about black women's masculinity since what, the 80s? Like no, like nobody is wanting you to be this. There are third world countries where women have to do this, have to do more of the grunt work than these first world bitches here have to do. To where they're walking 2 to 5, they're walking 5 to 10 miles to carry a jug of water, 2 jugs of water. And they're still feminine, even though their lives are hard, even though they don't have much. The black woman cries about paying a goddamn light bill, and she acts like her world is over. Maybe if you stop going to the club every fucking weekend, maybe you might have something left. I knew chicks I knew that same chick that was asking me to pay her court fees was the same chick going. The thing is, you black women are not sneaky. Y'all's Instagram, y'all's Facebook, y'all's Snapchat exposes a lot of what you do, and you guys act like guys don't see that shit. It was funny because this same woman who was asking me to pay her court fees and all that shit was going to parties with her girlfriends every fucking Friday through Sunday, drinks, VIP room, and then she would cry to me talking about, I gotta work, and I'm a chef, and I don't even make that much, and I'm going through racism, and I'm going through all of this shit. I have no friends who are willing to help me. Nobody's willing to talk to me. I'm like, so all these people you're taking these trips with, all these your friends and your family that you're constantly taking pictures with, you're telling me they're literally gonna watch you burn and let the house go to waste? Yes. Get the fuck out of here, man. And then while all that's happening, she's secretly seeing a dude who potentially is now her current boyfriend. See, that's how ungrateful helping black women are. That's how ungrateful it is, to where you can't even get fucking honesty. It's like, maybe I could contribute to a little bit of something, but don't fucking lie to me that nobody's willing to help you out, and then I'm also seeing you party every fucking day. That doesn't make sense to me.
And so literally you could be suffering or struggling, or you could really need help, but nobody even knows it because you don't ask for help. You don't.
See, asking for help comes with vulnerability, appreciation, and respect. And we already know, especially with black, we already know how cunning, spiteful, and lying black women are. To where you can help a black woman and the same black bitch will act like she got it out the mud and not even appreciate you for it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for not being sorry. Because we're done. Black men are fucking done trying to... Even when I see that Terrence Crawford shit with his mother, and how his mother didn't love him, hated him, and even prayed for his demise as a child. And this same bitch is doing backflips when he's been undefeated for the longest. Making millions of dollars. Giving her the soft life that she didn't fucking deserve. It's shit like that makes me frustrated. To see this entitlement to where a woman can prey on your downfall and hate you and wish you was fucking dead. And all of a sudden, you feel like you owe this woman everything. Y'all are really the most ungrateful bitches in the world.
Act like you need any help. You act like, in other words, everything you show the world and those around you is you've got it covered.
See, let them tell it. They're the only ones paying bills, even though they hardly even pay bills. They're the only ones working, even though they don't even have a real job. They're the only ones doing X, Y, Z.
The only way people know that you need help is to ask for it, to let them know what your needs are. I'll never forget Carrie and I, in our therapy work, we literally had an exercise we did where we both wrote down our needs, our actual needs. What do we need from each other? And it was such an interesting exercise, guys, because it really required us to get really, really transparent, really transparent. And it required us to be vulnerable with each other. And Carrie wrote down his list of what he needs from me. And I wrote down my list of what I need from him. And then we kept the list. I still have his list. I opened up the drawer next to his bed, the bed on his side the other day, and he had his list for me in the drawer. And it was like, it was so good because in black and white, written on paper, here is exactly what we need from each other. And we have to be able to get that transparent and that vulnerable to be able to ask and communicate, verbally communicate our needs. Because if we don't, our needs aren't going to be met. Oh, I'm over here letting my stuff get hot, guys. Hold on. I'm just talking. My oil's getting hot. So we have to get to a place of transparency, what's required for a softer life. Transparency, vulnerability, everything that's defining being a little more feminine. Our softer life is leaning into slowing down, being honest, right? Being more transparent, more vulnerable, more softer, right? Admitting our needs, admitting where we need help, admitting the stuff that we do, but we don't want to do it. How about we start there? All the stuff you do that you don't want to do, that you're tired of doing by yourself. That's a really good place to start. And the truth is that this journey and what I'm mentoring on with Soft Wife Life for single women and married women is about how. How
are you gonna sell the soft life pitch with this economy? Which you never bring up. You never bring up the realities of the world. You never talk about gas prices. You never talk about the Biden administration. You never talk about anything. The only thing really that's real world that you talk about is homosexuals, but you bring them up at the most awkward way, trying to make it seem like, oh, I went to a gym and all the niggas were gay. Like, I'm like, okay, whatever.
How do we lean in to transparency? How do we lean into vulnerability? How do we begin to step away from ego, step away from pride, and begin to lean into being...
Ooh, it's crazy that Rebecca Lynn Pope act like women don't beg. Oh, they fucking beg. But the thing is, they're not grateful. You know, it's gotten to a point to where I had to, after the pandemic, I learned that, man, I gotta delete dating apps. I gotta delete useless female contacts because I hate when they fucking ask for money. And these females will act like they're your best friends, they're your homies and all that shit, and they come with you so fucking fake. So fucking fake. And then have like the fucking the gall to be angry at you when you don't want to help them. It's like you don't care to see me. You don't fucking just talk to me out of the blue. But all of a sudden, when you allegedly need help, which most likely you just need money to go to a trip, all of a sudden, that's crazy. I remember my ex try to fucking trick me into paying for her trip. Bitch was slick. She was like, if you give me, if you give me like $80 for it, I'll give you a nude. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, that's, it was shut the fuck up. It's like helping them is It don't work. It don't work because they're not appreciative. Everything's a trick. Everything's a fucking lie. You know, why don't you talk? Why don't Rebecca Lynn Pope? Why don't you talk to the dudes have literally been helping chicks out and literally got nothing out of it? It's not like you get your shit back when they don't fuck with you no more. Kevin Samuels is the only dude that brought up that, hey man, that black men need to get their shit back if they worked their ass off for a woman who broke up with them. Okay, let me get back the TV. Let me get back my $80. Let me get back the rent that you allegedly missed out on. When I get that back. See, black women are gonna have to come in more humble than some basic shit. Low key, they probably have to be on their fucking knees with their head down, and like just like how those Hebrew Israelites get those white folks to kneel and kiss their feet. That's how black women need to come out the door. They knock on your door and they're already at the position. They're already at the position. because y'all fucked it up. Y'all fucked up everything. It's like y'all don't even get it. Y'all really don't get it. Y'all really, don't fucking get it.
Softer, slowing down, not being as competitive, right? Not being quite so aggressive, not moving at such a fast pace. This is all of what defines femininity.
Well, okay, for first world for us, why don't we have an actual community to where people can fucking strive instead of just bullshitting that. Wait, hold on. Because you have all these women, because you're selling a kind of a fairy tale, because you're trying to get this large audience of black women to follow you and get them in this hopes that there's some guy who's making $1 million and he's so tired of the plastic beautiful woman that he wants to go to the slums and pick out a southern belle who already has 2 kids, overweight, mid-40s, and he wants to build a new family with her. Like, you're gonna have to create a new sale pitch for that, man. Come on.
Slow.
Not everybody's gonna win, but what you could preach is that, hey, why don't we find some way to work with working to middle class black men? Why don't we try to see and figure out something on their level? Why don't we try to help them ease the burden while they're working long hours, and we can, I can at least make his lunches. I can at least, make him feel good after those long hours of work. And instead, you get this crazy shit, and I'm like, come on. And I'm pretty sure you're in a neighborhood where you're the only black person, because that's how black women love their little lifestyle. They love being the only black person in the neighborhood and using that as some sort of ranking system, some type of privilege.
And take our time and be honest about what we need as women. Because I promise you, for those of you who are like me, if you keep showing up, acting like you've got everything figured out, you're going to continue to stay on a very lonely island, because nobody's going to respond to needs that you don't even admit that you have.
She's talking as if black men or men in general are just willing to pay for their shit, because that's really what she's asking. I just wish she would stop beating around the bush, because it's not just some help of, hey, I just need someone to be a companion and I need someone to talk to. It's financial shit. you're literally asking men to pay an extra tab on a woman who most likely will leave them the next day, or at least when the tab is paid in full. You're gonna need a new sales pitch, bitch.
So it's really, really crucial. Dorothy wrote something in here. That's a little hard for me to accept help. I'm taking steps towards accepting help. My truth. Dorothy is my truth too. I was raised by a mother who helped everyone but never asked for help. I never saw that role model for me either. And so
And they want to blame us for this shit when it's really just their own doing. It's like, it's the thing is, you're hurting yourself because you want a reward at the end, and you're hoping that if you got enough pity points from people, and if people felt sorry for you long enough, they'll give you the appreciate this grandioso, this hodgepodge of this grand appreciation, rather than just having multiple small victories. They want this big appreciation, and they want to blame you for their silence.
Not ever seeing a woman around me asking or leaning into her vulnerability. My mother was just superwoman, kept her cape on all the time, did everything for everyone else, sacrificing herself on the altar of service, losing herself in the service to others, constantly sacrificing, and life letting her down, not being able to be supported, not getting that in return. I think there's some very negative subconscious psychology that motivates a lot of this stuff, guys, to where we think if we're just good to people and if we just sacrifice and we do so much for people, that they will be good to us, that they will just read our minds and do whatever we want them to do to be there for us, to love us the way we feel we deserve to be loved. And that's not true. That's simply not true. You could be such a good person, but if you don't have boundaries and you don't have effective, clear communication, you will find yourself just being taken advantage of or being taken for granted because you're such a good person and you're loving people and doing for people and treating people the way you want to be treated, but you don't know how to ask for what you want. Tashina says, I learned that leaving my last season. Yep. It's effective in all our relationships. Bernadette says, I don't ask for help because I get it thrown back in my face from manipulative people, which means we have to manifest and accept in new people in our lives.
Manifest. I'm kind of over it, because this is getting nowhere. It's like, I shouldn't have to be 12 minutes in just to get black women to realize that they're not grateful. That's the issue. You guys are way too manipulative. You guys ask for shit you don't really fucking need, and now all of a sudden, when you need something, you guys are she's even afraid to even bring up black men because it's not like other women are gonna pay for the bullshit, But
people who are not manipulative, giving, loving people that give as good as they take, right? Who want to be there for you, who want to be supported and want to be around other loving and supportive people. Because that's really crucial. Everybody is not going to love and support you and be there for you. Some people are takers, right? Bernadette says, I don't ask for help. I read that one. Hello, Miss Congeniality. Hi, sweetheart. So what else had to change, Rebecca? I had to heal all the anger and pain that I had.
Where did she get to talking about soft life? She's just been rambling.
I've witnessed in my young adult children is that you guys have to fly. You have to fly the coop. You've got to go out and start living your own life, making your own decisions, making your own choices, making your own mistakes, getting your own life lessons. And so it's really important to establish healthy boundaries in this area. And so much of this upcoming workshop, I want to inquire, do you for one-on-one counseling or mentorship? I do not, West Coast Cali. Thank you so much for signing up for the new mentoring program. I'm so excited about it. I don't offer any one-on-one mentoring. And one of the reasons I don't offer one-on-one coaching or mentoring, guys, is because my prices are so high. When you are an influencer,
What these bitches are, you know, what these bitches are so in desperate need of a man, why make it so high?
you are online and there's so many people following you, it's like the way the price structure would have to be so that I wouldn't be slammed.
It's just pimping the hustle, pimping the struggle, and you're just trying to find your way into that. See, because now what she's doing, she's using reverse psychology to where if you really wanted to help, just give me more money, and then we can negotiate something. So if somebody was willing to offer her $10K for like a 2-month session of one-on-one mentoring, she'll take it. She'll take it. This is a nice little con game.
Crazy. I think the only link to even talk to me one-on-one, I don't even think it's activated right now. The last time we had a link on there, me and my team, it was $2,500 for 50 minutes. So it's like, it just starts getting like for younger people and for women who need mentoring and such. This is why I'm doing the mentoring program, so you can get access to me and I can help. And we're going to be in live Q&A so I can answer your questions and talk to you guys. And all right, so that's going.
She didn't really talk about
some time alone so that we can heal.
But yeah, the gist of it is that black women are fucking ungrateful.